So also winners of B.I.G Call 19. Then we have Ajinkya. Ajinkya is the founder and CEO of Padcare Labs, a mechanical engineer by profession, and now a sanitation entrepreneur. He's also featured on Shark Tank season 2, very viral because of the blank check fame, and we will of course get into what happened to that blank check and how he felt later on as we go on in our conversations. Apart from, of course, Shark Tank, he's a B.I.G Call 16 recipient and, of course, an inspiration to young entrepreneurs everywhere. We will wait for, oh, Roni has joined. Hi, Roni.
Yeah.
Oh, he's left. I'm not sure.
So Ronnie is not having a stable net connection, so maybe he won't be able to turn on his video.
That's fine. Let me just pin him so that we can see him.
Yeah.
Oh, we have both of them. Hi, Ronnie. Hi, Rohan. Thank you for joining. So Ronnie and Rohan are both in China. So we really appreciate giving us your time, both of you. So I was just going to introduce you guys. So of course, Ronnie and Rohan are founders of Silifarm Technologies, working on India's first product for reducing menstrual pain. Completely wearable and non-invasive device offering instant relief for period pain. Featured on Shark Tank season 2, and of course B.I.G Call recipients of B.I.G Call 22. From the venture center side, we have with me my amazing colleague, Ms. Pallavi Bhaskar. She is the big shoulders behind the B.I.G grant here at Venture Center. And myself, Rohit, your host for today, having a big heart as big as the B.I.G grant. Sorry, I couldn't think of a better B.I.G pun. So, anyways, jokes aside, let's dive straight into the Shark Tank experience. And firstly, like I want to know, like, we'll get into the technical preparation of your pitches at Shark Tank. But उसके पहले आप लोगों ने कितने season Shark Tank के binge किए before going on to Shark Tank? Season 1 तो पूरा देख ही लिया होगा, या Shark Tank US तो देख ही लिया होगा for sure. Yeah, I see Ronnie nodding his head. So definitely a lot of hours spent on Netflix.
Not a single episode.
Hello? Wow, that is amazing. Yeah, Ronnie, we can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you.
We are from Silifarm Technologies Private Limited, and we are working on Mark 3. It's a portable, wearable, rechargeable electronic device which can be from period pen within just 10 minutes of use.
Yep.
So शार्क टैंक पे हम लोग गए, इससे पहले और एक बार हम लोग अप्लाई किए थे सीजन 2 पे. तो सीजन कुछ रिप्लाई नहीं आया लोगों को. शार्क टैंक में 4 स्टेप्स होता है. पहले हमको एक छोटा सा ब्रीफ देना होता है प्रोडक्ट के बारे में, कंपनी के बारे में. उसके सेकेंड स्टेज में अगर उसमें सिलेक्शन होता है तो और भी ब्रीफ में उसको डिस्कस करना होता है इन रिटन फॉर्म. ओके, तो थर्ड स्टेप में क्या होता है, वो लोग बोलता है कि वीडियो करने को, वीडियो करके हमें उनको भेजना होता है. वीडियो में अगर सिलेक्शन हो जाता है तो हम लोगों को बुलाया जाता है उनके स्टूडियो में, सोनी के टीम के सामने. इन पर्सन इंटरव्यू होता है वहाँ पे, कैमरा के सामने इन पर्सन इंटरव्यू होता है. तो हुआ था मुंबई पे.
राइट.
तो उसके बाद हम लोग नॉर्मली फंड टेस्ट करने का ट्राई कर रहे थे और शार्क टैंक पे अप्लाई कर दिया था सीजन 3 में. और उसके बाद कॉल आया कि तुम्हें आना है. 1 वीक पहले कॉल आया शार्क टैंक से, दिसंबर 3 को तुम्हारा यहाँ पे आना है. 3 दिन का वहाँ पे होता है, मतलब फर्स्ट 2 दिन पूरा सेटअप होता है कैसे क्या कुछ करना है, और थर्ड दिन में शार्क के सामने हम लोगों को बोलना होता है. तो पूरा पूरा जो सेशन होता है एकदम अनस्क्रिप्टेड होता है. सिर्फ पहले का 1.5 मिनट जो हर मतलब फाउंडर को बोलना होता है एक पिच, वो लोग मॉडिफाई करके देता है थोड़ा हिंदी करके. हम लोगों का मतलब हमारा हिंदी उतना अच्छा नहीं है.
नहीं, मेरे पास और भी डीपर क्वेश्चंस है तुम्हारे लिए, बट बिफोर यू रीच दैट, क्योंकि एक बहुत ही स्पेसिफिक क्वेश्चन है आपके लिए, बट आई कम बैक टू यू. Firstly, so like thank you for explaining the entire process to us. I want to go to Pragmatech. and Sayantani and Anirban. So आपका जो product था, that is a little more technical and unknown, addressing a problem which is not very well known as compared to the other panelists that we have today, right? So your pitch was especially impressive because it not only explained कि problem क्या है, उसका market क्या है और device क्या है, very very simply, right? So how did you prepare this pitch? And like Ronnie was saying that it is completely unscripted. तो आपने कितनी बार ये practice किया और ये जो सोनी वाले हैं, Shark Tank वाले हैं, how much of an influence do they have in the pitch?
So I'll let Shantini ask that question, but a quick word from me. So one thing that is very important to note over here is that, like you rightly said, I mean, we from a science background, from a scientific innovation, all of us have probably that preconceived notion कि Shark Tank में usually D2C brands ज़्यादा आते हैं, consumer goods के brands ज़्यादा आते हैं. That's the perception also we had before actually going to Shark Tank. But we were very, pleasantly surprised because at the outset they were very open to listening to us, understanding technically, going into the depth of our innovation, even in fact in the screening round. So not only did they give us time for us to explain the product properly, for them to understand, and also after that they called us to have a 1 hour session. This was after the audition, to understand again if they've understood the product right. So it was a very nice, pleasant experience to understand that they have a good listening here. And of course, about the question of how the pitch went, I think Shantini would be a better person to actually tell that. Shantini, if you may.
Yeah. So, like Anirban said, we always thought that Shark Tank is for more of D2C brands. And as I said, we had never watched a single episode of Shark Tank. So we had this, inhibition to go to Shark Tank, especially because जो हम reels देखते हैं हमेशा, it is more about some funny comments and थोड़ा teasing way में TRP generate करने के लिए. So we actually did not want to trivialize this entire topic.
Absolutely.
Because it's a very important and very sensitive topic.
Yeah.
So initially we were in actually two minds whether to actually go or not. But then eventually we thought that, with the current state of awareness, that 10 minutes we would get on the prime time is worth capitalizing on. I mean, भले ही हमारा product बने, बिके ना बिके, whether people accept it or not, whether we get a funding or not, at least people will get aware about this particular problem.
Right.
And just as we thought, even the Shark Tank team who works behind the camera, they sat with us. I think we got a great deal of time from them to understand the entire pitch. Actually, they would call other people also from other departments working to come and attend our pitching so that they can go get more educated. And they would come, they would ask questions, and they would be so happy कि चलो, in the process of working, they are also getting to know something which is very important and life-saving.
Right.
Generally, pitch is one. How long was the pitch supposed to be, Anirban? I think 2
So
minutes.
maximum is 2 minutes, but we were given 3 minutes.
We were given extra time because they wanted to ensure that no crucial point gets missed out. Our pitch was worked upon very in depth because they wanted to ensure कि जितना information वो दे सकते हैं in the most simple manner. Like being from a science background, हम हमेशा pitch करते समय we use very scientific terms.
Right.
But they ensured that the pitch is toned down in such a way that even a lay person can understand.
Super.
So that way, those guys were really into with it. We never felt that we are, a separate team. It was always a feeling that we all are working together towards it. That was a great experience.
Wow.
And like Ronnie said, that it's a unscripted thing. So that initial scripted part plays the major role, and I think it hit the people at a perfect note.
Okay, super. So Ajinkya, I'll just pick up from there. भाई तुम तो धंधे के बड़े मजे हुए खिलाड़ी हो. After you started spitting those numbers, I think everybody was super impressed. तो अभी ठीक है, इतना तो समझ गया कि unscripted होता है, but are even those questions like, do they give you any inkling, Ajinkya, that they are going to ask you these numbers or these financials so that you can answer them on the spot? Does that happen?
So already screen process के बारे में discussion हुआ है, right? It's talking about the question before going on the real page, actual page. As discussed, there was a couple of training sessions, right? We have to page. There will be a small panel or business team of Sony will sit in front of us, and they will ask a different question about business.
Oh,
and
okay.
they try to not a hint, but they try to try to be clear on the basic numbers, right? In terms of unit economics, in terms of your probably certain kind of recurring revenue stuff, gross margins, net margins, profit margins, growth rate. So
Right.
always they try to push you to get this clarity on numbers front, right? So yes, definitely they will ask certain kind of questions. They will give a hint that is this particular business questions or product questions are going to get asked. But for me, when I went on the Shark Tank, right, I was quite skeptical because मेरा पहला doubt था यार इन लोगों को problem समझ में आएगा या नहीं आएगा, because the problem that I am solving is just very sensitive topic.
Yeah.
As most of the audience, they will not feel this is a problem in the world, right?
Yeah.
And so advocacy or that sensitization around topic is quite important. And
Right.
that sensitization, advocacy along with the numbers are going to give a confidence, right? And that's where my entire pitch was there, right? In terms of the mixture of technology, sensitization about the topic, plus along with the numbers.
Wow, super. So this is brilliant fodder for all the participants who are probably setting up for their B.I.G journey. Thank you, all of you. Roni, are you still there? Can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay. Roni, तो मेरा एक different question है आपसे, रोहन आपसे. So ठीक है, pitch हो गया, सब हो गया, right? End में I think for you what happened was Namita was ready to of course invest, but जब भी आप गए, आपने कंसल्ट किया, आप वापस आए और फिर आपने स्पेसिफिकली बोला कि नहीं, हमें if you come in with Aman, only then it will be a better deal for you. So क्या ये चीज भी आपने पहले ही स्ट्रेटेजाइज करके गए थे कि हमें ये शार्क से फंडिंग मिले तो इट्स बेटर फॉर द D2C kind of business that we have, or like how did you reach to that conclusion?
हाँ, हम लोग का एक तो सोच था कि नमिता मैम और अमन गुप्ता सर अगर आए तो ये हम लोग के लिए अच्छा हो सकता है, क्योंकि नमिता मैम का फार्मा बैकग्राउंड है, जो हम लोग का मेडिकल डिवाइस में कुछ कनेक्शन ये सब के लिए अच्छा हो सकता है। और अमन गुप्ता अभी D2C में मतलब बहुत अच्छे से ही बोर्ड को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा है। तो हम लोग भी एक D2C ब्रांड बनना चाहता है, तो इसलिए हम लोग का दिमाग में ये तो एक प्लानिंग था पहले से। तो इसलिए ही मैम को हम लोग अप्रोच किया कि अमन गुप्ता सर को साथ अगर आए तो हम लोग के लिए अच्छा हो सकता है।
राइट, तो ये आपकी पहले से ही स्ट्रेटजी थी कि मतलब D2C के लिए we should check if Aman wants to join, and luckily he was ready to fund you. Okay, super. I think another common thread that all our panelists have today is that in pretty much all your pitches you mentioned that you have received grant funding and that has kind of helped you on your runway till Shark Tank, right? Which is what brings me up to B.I.G. And before I get into B.I.G questions for our participants, I'll just request my colleague Pallavi if she can briefly tell the audience about the call that is open right now, and then we can continue the conversation.
Yeah, just give me a second. Let's share my screen.
শোনা যাচ্ছে? বুঝতে পারছি।
Screen is visible, right? So, Venture Center is a B.I.G partner, and this current call 24 is open till 31st May, 5:30 p.m. So, I just want to explain briefly what B.I.G is. So, it is run by DBT, BIRAC. It's a flagship program of BIRAC, which provides the right admixture of fuel and support to young startups and entrepreneurial individuals. It is the largest early stage biotech funding program in India. The grant funding is up to 50 lakh rupees for 18 months to build best-in-class innovative ideas and refine idea to proof of concept. The main purpose of B.I.G scheme is to foster generation of ideas which has commercialization potential upscale and validate the POC, encourage researchers to take technology closer to market through a startup, and stimulate enterprise formation. It's the brief about B.I.G. And I want to also mention the domains that are there under B.I.G. These are the main domains that one can apply: biosimilars, agriculture, medical devices, diagnostics, IBT, secondary agriculture, medical drugs, and others like sanitation, water management, clean energy, food processing. So I also want to mention there is a co-funding opportunity available for this call onwards for infectious diseases and digital health related to it. It's funded along with BIRAC. The co-funding agency is Indian Health Fund, and these are the support areas on the right side that you see. So I think that's all from my side, and we can continue.
Super. So this initial funding, so guys, all of you, and maybe I can start with Anirban first. Anirban, you mentioned in your pitch, that initially when you conceptualized the product, you thought that it will take you probably 2 years, but because of regulatory and whatever, it ended up taking you twice that time.
Right.
So ye journey mein, and of course after that Shark Tank happened and you raised grant funding toward during those 4 years. But ye journey mein, how important is grant support like B.I.G for an entrepreneur?
Look, I'll be very honest with you. If it was not for grants, we would not have probably reached where we are today. So grant is basically that risk capital that is enabled to us so that we can go through that entire process without the fear of failing, right? So that is very, very essential. One analogy that I would absolutely bring into perspective, why? Because it is also a co-discussion about Shark Tank. So Aman was having a look at our product and he was actually looking at it and saying, "Arey, ye banane ke liye aap log ko 4 saal lag gaye." I said, and that was like a flashback moment for me in that few seconds as to what we have done in that 4 years. So before answering anything, one has to also look at the perspective. एक जो दवाई है, एक chemical का powder है, that takes 20 years to come to a market.
Yeah.
एक medical device that a lady will probably insert in her body without the fear or that something could go wrong has to be 110% effective in its efficacy and safety. And without that, it will not be even, good for as good founders to encourage someone to, have a product that is entering the market because without the proper testing, without the proper due diligence and all those things. So it is an ardent journey, but there is definitely light at the end of the tunnel. Now that we are actually speaking to investors, we are happy to discuss this whole journey, and they also understand. And there's a very important perspective to understand that after aeronautics, medical device and pharma is the second most regulated industry.
Right.
So that perspective, there are people who understand this journey. Without the grant support, it is not very easy to get to a prototype stage to show that whatever you're saying can be demonstrated in a controlled environment. So therefore, that's where grant comes in. And just to let you know, the medical device that we have developed is not out of the big funding, but we are attempting something else. That is the screening kit. That is the actual purpose of the big grant. So
Yes.
that also has a lot of risk factor associated along with it. Because big is there to support us, we actually, we were able to proceed on this journey. So yes, it's extremely, extremely important.
Super.
I would just like to add a small note to that.
Yeah.
That this part got edited, it didn't get aired, but we did explain them why it took us 4 years and how the grant funding supported us. And Aman Gupta and Anupam Mittal especially were really excited. हमें भी big में apply करना है, हमें भी BIRAC में apply करना है. We also want to get into this particular field.
Yeah. I think that's what I think it's a very important point that you brought up. It's the lack of understanding of that field. क्योंकि product तो छोटा सा दिखता है, but वो ही लाने के लिए इतने पापड़ बेलने पड़ते हैं that like somebody who's not in the industry might not be aware. Ajinkya, you I think received big call 16, which is like one of the earliest, and you applied through Venture Center, of course, and you got it for the first time. And of course, Padcare's journey, I think, is well documented after that. How much did it help you as an early stage entrepreneur? Because you were venturing into a field that जिसमें awareness कम है, जो अभी भी एक taboo है. ये initial funding support कितना मायने रखता है in terms of just confidence of ठीक है, मेरा idea है, powerful है, how can I go ahead?
So when I started, that time I was just 21 years old, right? I was just initiate college,
Yeah.
kind of graduate.
Yeah.
And I was working somewhere, but I always wanted to do something for the community, right? And that's where I started looking for the different problem statement. And this particular problem around menstrual hygiene or particular menstrual waste got stuck into my mind. And luckily, what I started doing that I started just applying my solutions or probably the problem that I am solving, that particular concept for different grants funding. I didn't know about this particular BIRAC, frankly, with BIRAC and other DBT and all. Right. So I applied for the first SOJ grant. So SOJ grant is a subpart of BIRAC. They have launched only one special call in 2017, I think. They have SOJ 1 and SOJ 2. I just applied, and the intention of that call is to developing a product that is going to impact on the communal health. Right. So applied randomly. I didn't expect it. This particular just application will turn into the particular venture. And right now we are completing 6 years of our operations on this 10th of June. When I applied, it was just simple solution with what is going to be the concept look like. And when I received that 15 lakhs rupees kind of grant, but that grant is just not for the particular solution, but it helped me to take that decision to leave my job.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
And start working on something. Yeah. I started the Padcare, the concept that I'm working for. I thought, let me just 3 महीना मुझे काम करने दो, मैं check करता हूँ, नहीं तो मुझे किधर तो job मिल ही जाएगी. And that's where I left my job. I started working for initial 3 months to explore, is there in the market? Is there this potential, probably business sense will happen like after developing technology, right? And from that 3 months to 3-month journey to right now, we are going to complete 60 months, right? In this June 2024. So in meanwhile, I have received a different grant. So initially SOJ 1, SOJ 2 that helped me to develop proof of concept. Then B.I.G, I work on certain kind of add-on aspect of material separation and diaper recycling. Then there are scaling up grants as well, where ANIC, Niti Aayog help us to take this forward from that lab level product to the market and set up our first pilot plant. And right now there are few grants that are coming from USA. There are up to 1 to 2 CR grants that are helping us to establish the distribution channel. And in entire Padcare, grants नहीं रहते तो probably Padcare नहीं रहते थे. Probably मुझे उतना risk taking ability, right, to work on certain kind of hard topics. Right. So yeah, grant helped me to get that kind of cushioning. It helped me acquire and work with the right candidate people, because initial starting mein right resources are important. It's just not about money, but getting the right people is come with a certain kind of cost as well, right? Where then it is just not about money, but another part technical support. Right. So advisors that what you have received during this grant, particularly in B.I.G, they are from some of the NCL scientists as well as someone from sanitation portfolio department, where they help me to really establish this entire GTM. So it is more than money, it is more than technological development. It is more about creating that entire ecosystem around your soul. And that this is something how grant helped me to take the Padcare from one maybe site right now. That time we are just serving venture center only as a pilot sites, and today we are operating more than 1,000 client sites across 19 cities.
Super. Thanks Ajinkya for that the optimistic take on grants. I think a lot of people in the audience today might be students or might be just thinking of taking that leap into entrepreneurship, लेकिन यार salary का क्या होगा ऐसा सोच रहे हैं. So definitely your take definitely helped. Roni and Rohan, so you are, I think they are the youngest, like we call 22 receivers. Yeah. So you are the most recent receivers of B.I.G. And after that, of course, Shark Tank happened. Firstly, can you hear us, Roni and Rohan? I think we lost them. Nonetheless, let me speak to Ajinkya and Anirban and Sayantani again. Of course, we spoke about like the Shark Tank pitches and what you have to get ready before you. Oh, they're back. Roni, Rohan, can you hear us?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what I was saying is कि आपका like you are, मतलब आपने सबसे recent B.I.G grant आपका receive हुआ है. और of course we spoke about कि Shark Tank में pitching कैसे होता है, क्या-क्या preparation करना पड़ता है. एक इसका ये भी नजरिया है कि जो BIG में आप जो प्रेपरेशन करते हो आफ्टर प्रपोजल आपको एक BIG पैनल भी फेस करना पड़ता है विच इज ऑफ कोर्स अ डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ शार्क टैंक बट वहां पे वो एक्सपीरियंस और लेट्स से शार्क टैंक में पिचिंग एक्सपीरियंस कुछ सिमिलैरिटीज आपको लगे या आपको लगा कि यहाँ पे जो क्वेश्चंस पूछा था वो ज्यादा टेक्निकल था वहां पे ज्यादा बिजनेस रिलेटेड एनी इनसाइट्स ऑन दैट फॉर फ्यूचर BIG ग्रांटीज?
सर बिग में बहुत टेक्निकल क्वेश्चन किया जाता है, तो उसमें क्या होता है, प्रोडक्ट पूरा फिल्टर हो जाता है। और जब हम शार्क टैंक पे जाते हैं, वहाँ पे बिजनेस वो लोग भी देखते हैं कि इनको बिग मिला है बायरेक्स से, तो ये प्रोडक्ट अच्छा है।
और बिग का प्रेजेंटेशन हम लोग के लिए बहुत अच्छा लर्निंग फेज था, तो उस टाइम जो प्रिपरेशन हुआ वो शार्क टैंक में भी हम लोग का बहुत अच्छे से और कैसे इम्प्रूव करके बोल सकते हैं वो भी बहुत हेल्पफुल हुआ।
बहुत बार पिचिंग किया बिग के लिए भी, बहुत रिहर्सल हुआ, यहाँ पे भी सेम हुआ। मतलब
ओके
जो क्वेश्चन एक होता है, जनरल क्वेश्चन होता है कुछ बिजनेस का, तो वो सेम ही सिमिलर है।
ओके
बिग
तो एक
बहुत हेल्प
टेक्निकल
किया
एक
इससे।
टेक्निकल वैलिडेशन हो जाता है मतलब बिकॉज BIG इज
हाँ
सच अ
हाँ
वेल नोन बायोटेक्नोलॉजी ग्रांट लाइक कोई और इन्वेस्टर देखता है कि इनको BIG मिला है तो एटलीस्ट टेक्निकली साउंड है प्रोडक्ट दैट
यस
एटलीस्ट
यस
दैट
हाँ
वैलिडेशन कम्स इनटू पिक्चर super so now I'll stay on Ronnie and Rohan so आपका like so I want to talk about like post Shark Tank like Shark Tank के बाद क्या हुआ तो आपका for example like right now I think we have you are a D2C brand and I think visibility of course is very important for a D2C brand right? तो एक शार्क टैंक के बाद आपके ऑर्डर्स कितने बढ़े लाइक बहुत ज्यादा बढ़े लाइक नाउ आर यू अ वेल नोन यू फील दैट यू आर अ वेल नोन D2C ब्रांड लाइक क्या चेंजेस क्या थे इन बिजनेस?
सर क्या हुआ था, हम लोग तो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग स्टार्ट नहीं किए थे, तब हमारा मैन्युफैक्चरिंग लाइसेंस भी नहीं था। मैन्युफैक्चरिंग लाइसेंस CDSU से कुछ दिन पहले मिला, और जिस दिन लाइव हुआ था शार्क टैंक का एपिसोड, हम लोग प्री ऑर्डर मतलब वेबसाइट से हमारा प्री ऑर्डर स्टार्ट कर दिए थे। तो बहुत अच्छा रिस्पांस मिला, सिर्फ इंडिया से नहीं, बाहर से भी ऑर्डर, डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर, मतलब पूरा फुल डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर नेटवर्क हमारा अभी बन गया है। हम लोग नेक्स्ट मंथ से अमेजोन फ्लिपकार्ट में भी सेल करेंगे, स्टार्ट कर देंगे। और प्री ऑर्डर अभी सिर्फ हमारे वेबसाइट से हो रहा है। हाँ
करेक्ट हाँ मैंने भी प्री ऑर्डर किया है सो आई एम वन ऑफ योर कस्टमर्स।
अच्छा
Okay, yeah. See, so a similar question to you, everybody else also, because I think the nature of your business is very different.
Yeah,
so for
one point before that is that I found the TEP more intimidating than the Shark Tank actually.
What? Okay,
Absolutely.
so this is an interesting take. I
Yeah.
did not expect this. So
No,
yeah,
no,
just can you
absolutely.
elaborate like why was
Yeah,
that?
so there are two things. First of all, so big, we got it in the second attempt. The first attempt was there, and also the second attempt.
Yeah.
So I mean, the panelists are first of all double the numbers of how much they are at Shark Tank. The Shark Tank, mein, I think there are a number of sharks, but here it's almost like 12 or 15 people who are on the TEP presentation who are asking questions, and they are very hard-hitting technical questions. That is. And they are probably the experts of the field. So whatever we say, they know 10 times of more than what we say.
Okay.
That's one point. But the similarity was in Shark Tank, we had the Shark Tank team who were helping us to prepare of the whole thing. And
Yes.
similarly, in the TEP, we had the entire big team at Venture Center. We also had Dr. Premnath's support in one instance where he actually said how to actually go about things in the presentation. So I think it was very similar in that context. But personally, I found it more intimidating. Yes.
Okay, very interesting. If you could also reflect on the other question as to how things have changed now post Shark Tank.
Yeah, so even though we were not a direct B2C brand, we got a lot of attention. I think whatever we did in the 4 years versus what happened after Shark Tank can be actually summed up, because no one knew about us before the 4 years, but after Shark Tank, everyone actually came to know about us. One very interesting thing happened is that the KOLs whom we were chasing, the KOLs also absolutely are connected to this world. They get a lot of information from outside world. They get information that someone like this from the cervical cancer field has actually appeared on Shark Tank, and they reached out. Okay, hey, hi, I know that you had come to visit me. It's a great thing that you came on Shark Tank. So we were absolutely really happy about it. So that was one of the big highs that we got. We got like Ronnie said, we got a lot of distribution opportunities. We are now filtering from those as to choosing the best ones. And of course, the funding opportunity. I mean, we were already closing around, but Namita's input actually, I mean, exaggerated the whole thing, and it actually accelerated the whole process of the fundraising. So we are raising an entire round with Namita being one of the investors in that round. So that happened, but we couldn't, of course, capitalize on the selling part of it because we are still in the final stages. So in less than probably a month, we will be opening the entire doors to commercializing the product. We have already soft launched the product in Chennai, but the actual commercialization will happen in the next 1 month, and we plan to capitalize on all the attention they give.
Super. That is so good to know. Ajinkya, for you, I think you were already had set up base in a few cities when you appeared on Shark Tank. How has the Shark Tank tag helped you?
Yeah, I think it changed. It acted as a catalyst, right, in terms of Padcare's growth journey. If I look before 2022, before airing this, it's been almost 1.5 years, right? It's been where we went with the Shark Tank and the entire phenomena happened. Before that, it was a little bit hard selling for us as well, right? Because the concept selling, it is more about awareness, then concept selling, then sales into directly market.
Yeah.
The entire phenomena got changed after the Shark Tank.
Yeah.
Shark Tank help us to reduce our sales cycle. Although we are in B2B, it is not B2C. B2B crack a deal, cracking a deal, B2B deal is quite tough. It takes minimum, like that time you were taking minimum 4 to 5 months, 5 to 6 months to close one deal. Post that Shark Tank, because there was already awareness, already advocacy about this topic. It's just matter of concept selling, concept communication, and closure of the deal. So we got literally, like, we got almost 30 kind of indent, like LOIs from different countries. We got orders from someone kind of Supreme Court of India to have our systems like Padcare into their offices. We scaled from business from 4 cities to right now operating in 19 cities. We scaled it from 300 client sites to right now 1,000 client sites. टीम बढ़ गई 20 से अभी जब 100 लोगों के आसपास की अभी टीम हो गई. So it acted as a catalyst. It's just not about, like, I feel the Shark Tank is going to act as a catalyst, but ultimately that opportunity we have to utilize, right, as a founder. Team. Then second, the network. Help me to build my own network, and there are two types of network. It is more about ecosystem centric network and peer network around the founders.
Yeah.
So generally, we got tie up with other startups. Those have pitched into the Shark Tank as well in terms of packaging related requirements, in terms of someone having kind of B2B sales related requirement. There is a we observe. Third one, ultimately, like when you get on the Shark Tank, right, people will start recognizing you here and there. But that time, I feel is your probably that time it is very important to how Ajinkya is communicating the brand, right? Ajinkya is becoming a person on behalf of Pads. So what I speak, how I communicate, what I deliver, everyone is going to get observed. And ultimately, yes, I agree. Where we have also raised that time, we have raised around and is accelerated our entire investment round as well. And yeah, it is growing. Like it's still the Shark Tank thing. Just today only morning, some financing related requirement. That particular lady who recognized our pitch, and then she asked. Then discussion. It is easy to crack a discussion, right?
Yeah. I agree.
So to scale our entire brand. In last probably.
Yeah, super. Like for a third person, for a viewer also, I feel that even if like I'm not involved completely in your businesses like Padcare or cervical cancer, but it definitely for me, like the knowledge that I got from all your episodes was excellent. Like I was able to speak to so many other people and tell them about these problems in much more details because of that 2 or 3 minute pitch you did. So which is amazing, and there were so many eyeballs that you get, right? I feel another intangible benefit is that your family gets to see you on TV. And I think in Ajinkya's case, so his mom also was on TV. So I think that is something cool.
I want to like that is what more emotional moment for me, because when I left my job where my mom supported Ajinkya kar le, uske baad like getting like always I feel there is family support is required to scale any kind of business. So that opportunity they also got to be part of entire ecosystem. And this year as well, Shark Tank put Padcare as one of the success story for from the last year. And again, it helped us to, that momentum is there, right? That momentum is quite important.
Right. Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you. So there are quite a few participants, and I'm sure all the participants have a lot of questions. Before that, I think Anirban already touched upon the fact that how a venture center team, or rather any partner that you tie up with for BIG helps them, and even Shark Tank helps them. A Shark Tank team help them get ready for the pitch. Can you guys share as to like what is the, I think Anirban, you and Sayantani got it in the second call, if I'm not mistaken, the second time that you applied, right? And Ajinkya, of course, you got it in the first one. Can you guys just touch upon how important is that mentoring when you apply for the proposal as young entrepreneurs, maybe?
I think Shantini will be able to answer that better.
Sure.
So the first time when we had applied, we were not really sure about a lot of things. But then that one round, so even in the first round, we did get an interview call, and we did present, and that entire experience of applying for big and going till the last step taught us a lot. We got to understand a lot of small things which we made sure that we take care of in the next call. And that is exactly what we did. And apart from that, yes, as Anirban said, that there was a lot of hand holding from the big team of Venture Center. I mean, a big thanks to Pallavi, Shalini, and also Dr. Premnath, even Mugdha. So everyone from Venture Center did contribute in some or the other way to make our pitch absolutely perfect. Like when we finally gave the presentation in the second round, we were kind of confident that yes, this time it is going to happen. So getting that confidence out of your pitching itself is a big deal, and that exactly shows that how grilled you were and how well you prepared. So yeah.
Ronnie, Rohan, are you back? Can you hear us?
Yes, sir. We are there. Yes.
Yes. How was the support that you received for BIG? आपका call 22 जब आपने apply किया, I think आपका venture center के साथ ये first call था जो आपने apply किया, and you got it, of course. How important was the help provided to you by the team in cracking that proposal फिर panel के सामने जाने के लिए?
जब सर हम लोग का प्रिपरेशन स्टार्ट हुआ मेन प्रेजेंटेशन का पहले, उस टाइम तो शालिनी मैम, पल्लवी मैम उस टाइम बहुत हेल्प किया है। इवन प्रेमनाथ सर को साथ भी बहुत अच्छे से इंटरेक्शन हुआ। प्रेमनाथ सर जो मेंटरिंग सपोर्ट हम लोग को दिया वो बहुत ही हेल्पफुल है। वो अभी भी हम लोग बहुत हेल्प कर रहा है
ओके
कि और आगे कैसे बढ़ सकता है। तो ये ऑब्वियसली एक हेलो
या वी कैन हियर
सर। और मिलने के बाद अभी डेली ऑपरेशंस चलाना, उसका बाद जो कैपेक्स है, जो नीडेड मशीन R&D के लिए, ये भी बहुत हेल्पफुल हुआ था क्योंकि वो सब मशीनरी हम लोग के लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट था। और वो BIG का बारे में ही हम लोग को बहुत आसानी से ही मिल गया और उसका बाद हम लोग का काम अभी बहुत आसानी से ही हो रहा है, चल रहा है।
Super. Thank you, Ronnie and Rohan. So we can, I think, open questions to all the participants. Participants, if you guys want to ask any questions, you are free to unmute and ask the panelists, or you can put them in chat as well, and we can pick it up from there.
Hello.
Yes. Yes, go ahead.
Hello, sir. सबसे पहले thank you for this event, and I want to ask one question. Like last time हम BIRAC के BIG के finalist में थे, and मतलब interview round तक गए थे, and we have also got the NIRI EIR fellowship, and IIT रुड़की में incubated है. But the problem मेरे सामने ये आ रही है, like ये बिल्डिंग थ्रू आउट दिस प्रोडक्ट, हमें मतलब कुछ पता ऐसा, मतलब ऐसा थोड़ा यकीन हो भी रहा है कि ये हम बना लेंगे, और कई बार ऐसा हो रहा है कि पता नहीं बनेगा या नहीं बनेगा ये प्रोडक्ट, क्योंकि ये बहुत डीप टेक और टाइम कंज्यूमिंग प्रोडक्ट है। बेसिकली हमारा क्या है, हम एआई के हेल्प से ये प्रेडिक्ट कर रहे हैं कि आईसीयू में कौन सा पेशेंट डेटोरिएट करने वाला है और कब करने वाला है। तो एंड सेकंड प्रोडक्ट हमारा ये था कि हम सबके साउंड से ये प्रेडिक्ट कर रहे हैं कि पेशेंट को कौन सी डिजीज है, एलआरटीडी है या यूआरटीडी। तो बेसिकली हम भी इस आइडिया के थ्रू गए थे, लेकिन प्रॉब्लम ये आ रही है कि अब जैसे मेरी आयर फेलोशिप मेरी एंड हो गई है 6 मंथ की, और अब क्या है, मुझे मतलब कोई इनकम का या समथिंग मतलब वो है नहीं। तो उस पीरियड में आप कैसे सरवाइव करेंगे? और क्योंकि मुझे ये पता है कि ये प्रोडक्ट बनाना है, अगर मैं नहीं बनाऊंगा तो पता नहीं कौन बनाएगा। मतलब एक अंदर से वो जो होता है कि ये प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व होनी चाहिए। लोग, मिलियंस ऑफ पीपल डाई कर रहे हैं अननोन डिजीज की वजह से, उन्हें पता ही नहीं चल रहा है। तो मैं ये चाह रहा हूँ कि किसी तरह, लेकिन वही है कि इनकम का जो होता है एक सोर्स, वो नहीं आ रहा, तो तक ये मोटिवेशन चलेगा। तो इसके लिए क्या आप वो देना चाहेंगे?
थैंक यू अभिषेक। वो आई थिंक बहुत ही उम्दा सवाल पूछा है आपने। आई थिंक अ लॉट ऑफ एंटरप्रेन्योर्स कैन रिलेट टू दिस. Can I request Anirban to pitch on this, because you had this longest timeline that you had to struggle with, right? Like, how did you keep yourself motivated? Like, any tips for candidates like Abhishek?
Yeah, so Abhishek, I mean, for the first thing is that you need to have trust on your product, right? So there is, of course, a 50-50 chance whether the product will see the light of the day or not, but you should have that 100% trust that if you're successful in making it, it can have benefit can be either to the society or you financially, whatever may be the thing that you may be chasing, but you should have confidence that it can actually alter the current scheme of things and how it can be done. So until and unless that positivity is there in the journey, it will be very difficult. So that thing has to be coming from within, that I need to be at least going up to the stage where I can sell the product or maybe take it to the market and do come what may, be behind it to get it done.
Super.
So Sayantani, if you want to add something.
I would just like to add that I think Abhishek जी आपको इस डोमेन के जो एक्सपर्ट्स हैं, की ओपिनियन लीडर्स हैं, उनके साथ अपना आइडिया शेयर करना चाहिए एंड गेट देयर ओपिनियन ऑल्सो, नॉट जस्ट अबाउट how it would be, but ask them if this is a problem worth solving, and see what their input is, if you can incorporate their suggestions in some or the other way or not. So I think that will also increase your confidence on your product, and also keep you motivated if they really align with your product.
Actually, we have took survey from 40+ doctors, and उन सबको ये प्रोडक्ट चाहिए, मतलब कि रियल में हेल्प करेगा। बट क्या है, मतलब एक होता है ना कि हमारे घर के खर्चे भी तो होते हैं। तो मतलब ये होता है कि मैंने अपनी जॉब छोड़ के, मतलब अच्छी खासी जॉब छोड़ के मैं इस प्रोडक्ट पे आया हूँ। तो अब वही होता है कि लाइक फेलोशिप अमाउंट अब मिलेगा, मतलब अप्लाई किया हुआ है, अब मिलता है नहीं मिलता है वो अलग बात होती है ना, डिपेंड। लेकिन उस मोटिवेशन तो है ही, लाइक इस चीज को बनाना है, चाहे कोई रहे ना रहे। मेरे को फाउंडर भी लास्ट उसमें मतलब जब हमारा बीआईजी में नहीं हुआ था तो उन्होंने लीव कर दिया था, लेकिन मैं अभी भी हूँ क्योंकि मेरे को ये प्रॉब्लम रियल में सॉल्व करनी है। सो ये मोटिवेशन तो है ही।
अभिषेक, अगर आपने अपना जॉब छोड़ दिया है मेरे जैसे तो you have been I mean as full as me to just leave the job before we have actually got the grant, तो कहीं ना कुछ हो जाएगा, because I know that desperation level जो होता है वो बहुत हाई लेवल का होता है जब आप जॉब छोड़ के ये करते हैं। और जब डेस्परेशन लेवल हाई होता है, आप कहीं पे भी हाथ पैर मारते हैं कि कहीं कहीं से कुछ ग्रांट मिल जाए। सो जब हमारा बिग नहीं हुआ था, हमने वो टाइम पे जो 6 महीने का प्रिपरेशन है, हमने एक 10 लाख का ग्रांट अप्लाई किया था, निधि प्रयास, जो हमको उस दौरान हमें सपोर्ट किया। सो एट दैट टाइम कुछ कहीं पे भी हाथ पैर मार के आप लगे रहिए, दैट यू कैन गेट टू द बिग स्टेज। सो बिग में 1-2 बार जितने बार अप्लाई करना आप कर सकते हैं।
I think consistency is the key.
Yeah, Abhishek, please do get in touch with Pallavi after this call. and we will see about your big application. You can apply for this call as well. Let us take some few more questions because I'm conscious of time. So the next question is by Maheshwari, who is asking, is BIG highly competitive and how many applications will they select? I think Pallavi can take this.
Yeah. So BIG grant is very, very competitive. There are many people who apply across India. So about 5 to 10% is the success rate of selection or of the total applications that BIRAC receives. And for your question of how many applications are finally selected, are about 50 to 60 are finally selected out of the thousands of applications that come in. Okay.
Right.
So
I
if
think
you have any preliminary data, if you've done any raw prototype, you can surely show that as the preliminary work done. That also gives them confidence that there is some skin in the game. You guys have also tried out something and are serious about it. But nonetheless, of course, B.I.G supports for idea at idea level as well. If it's a very exceptionally a good idea which has commercialization potential, that is also supported.
So getting into IIT is easier than getting big. IIT is 25 to 30%, but big is more than that.
Yeah. Also, I think here it also makes a big difference as who you are applying the call to, right? And that is why we have this program is to let all our participants know that if you are wanting to apply to B.I.G, then please get in touch with whoever is the venture center contact person that you have. So we can help you a lot better and increase your chances of getting that, because the odds are, like I said, a little against our favor because the pool, applicant pool is so big, correct? Right. So the next question is, what is the average score target for big selection out of 130?
So I did not understand what is 130, but see the scores target, the cutoffs for the online review round as well as the ESC round is different. More or less about 60 is what is selected, but if there are more applications, then the cutoffs can go even higher than 60. So it depends on what category you are applying. So there's no fixed number as of now that I can tell you. It change every call as well. But 60 and above is something that one should target for sure to make a safe entry into the technical evaluation round.
Okay, and attempt with halfway in product development TRL2 or pitch with TRL3?
So I'll just rephrase this question. I think you're asking if somebody is at a TRL level 2 or 3, if they can apply for BIG. So yes, they can. So 1, 2, 3 TRL, you can apply to BIG. I hope that answers Jay.
Any other questions?
Sir, this is Dr. Shivanand Bhushan. Sir, actually, we have one product which we wanted as a biomedical device is for the quality control of the gamma camera, like that thing. We have made a small simulated product, and we found that it can be scaled up. So can we apply for the big project?
Can you repeat it, please?
Dr. Shiva, your voice is not very clear. Can you just repeat your question, please?
Sir, now is it audible to you?
Yeah. Please go ahead.
Sir, actually that I am from the nuclear medicine department from Mahe, Manipal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So this is related to one of the small phantom is there actually, that what we want to create. For that actual phantom, the material we are searching, and then we have created a small simulated product which is feasible. So can we apply? We are trying to get it scaled up. So is it possible to apply for the big project?
Yeah, I think you can apply for BIG.
We have already one company we have actually registered under the incubator, our Mahe incubator, GOK incubator. So through that we can apply, or the individual to apply?
So you can apply, if you have a startup, you will have to apply through it.
So it will be better through the company to apply, through the startup?
Yes.
Okay, so how to contact actually you? Or
Yeah, so
Actually, you can tell me.
Dr. Shiva, we will be sharing our contact details in the chat soon. You can contact us through that.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, sir.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have at the lecture theatre, the Venture Center lecture theatre. I think we have a few people who want to ask questions. If they can unmute and directly, or they can put it in the chat.
Yeah, hello. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm Dr. Jayanti from THSTI, and my question is specifically to Anirban and Pragmatech team. So we are kind of similarly in the same boat as you. It's a public health tool, and our aim is to reach the public. But as it goes with government and public health tools, it's a long pathway. So how do you convince people of your commercial viability?
So I think the first way is that when you say long, do you mean the product development is long or the regulatory pathway is long? Which part of it is long?
Entire process, getting it regulated, getting it into health HTA done by government, and like if you want to go through the government pathway, government screening and all the camps, so that's a long procedure. So what is the other market segment of whatever you want to say that which
Well,
you
because I don't know your product in that, I can't answer that specifically. But what I can suggest is whenever you have a long pathway, it is very essential to exactly map the route very clearly so that you can say, this is where we are, this is where I want to get from in year 1 to year 2, and this is where I want to get from year 3 to year 4. And you need to very distinctly and clearly make that pathway understand to the person opposite. So maybe it can be the granting authorities or an investor, so that they are aware that what they are investing into. It's not always necessary that an investor will get in at a certain point, and if the product is not yet in the market, he will not get any benefit for it. Even if you're taking a product from A to B and there has been certain development in that stage, the investor will get their benefit. And even similar goes for the granting bodies, because there are several grants that are specifically for TRL2 to TRL4 and 5 development. So that is not really of a concern whether you have a longest journey, but you need to be very, very clear as to what is the journey, what are the challenges, and how long will you take.
Okay, and just a little add-on question. Like in your case, today we were presented with your slides of your go-to-market here at Venture Center. So one of the component was B2G, and which was to government and to the charitable trusts and NGOs. You targeted these two entities. So how did you go about approaching these pathways?
So one very essential thing is that if you have a government that you need to sell to, there has to be a channel partner in between. It's very difficult for a startup to directly sell to the government because there are long credit cycles. A startup cannot manage this kind of credit cycles of 6 months to 10 months because you'll run out of money. So there has to be a channel partner who's there in between. But when you're selling that product, after that, the end usage again can be taken up as a responsibility to make someone train on it, and then you can actually give it out for the NGOs to use it. It's not always necessary that every and each product that is going onto a field has to be trained by you, because right now what is happening, we are doing this in rural Chennai where the NGOs themselves are doing it. Now they know the product better than us in some manner, how to use it and all. So it's not always necessary that you go to each and every product and how it is being used. You need to have a proper structure as to how the training can happen.
Okay, proper SOPs and how to use it in and all.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you, Anirban.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the lecture theatre?
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, actually, I have applied last before a year. Mine got for 3 rounds also it got qualified, and in final round I got 71 marks, and it is showing as a under consideration only. So again I have applied last year, but after that in last year I could not. It was not showing anything, and it was showing again as a under consideration only. I am not getting what does it mean in a big application.
Shalini, would you like to answer this question?
Yeah, so that actually that status will not be updated on the portal. You will directly receive an email from your big partner. And the cutoff would have gone higher for that particular theme. So maybe that is why it is showing, right now it is showing under consideration.
Second one also it is showing under consideration.
Yeah, that
Last year
doesn't
what
change
applied
on
also.
portal. Yeah, that doesn't change on portal, but you will receive an email for that.
Okay, means we have to ask about what is the feedback about that one. To whom should I mail? No?
Yeah, you have to ask your big partner.
Okay.
Okay. I saw that one hand go up from the lecture theater. The last few questions. Anybody from the lecture theater has any other questions?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to talk to Ajinkya Dhariya. Is it there?
Ajinkya, I think Ajinkya has dropped out because it's 5 already. Yeah, but can you tell us what your question is around? If it's a little general in nature, then others can answer.
No, I don't have a question. Actually, he's my senior from my graduation college, so I just wanted to talk to him.
Okay. Yeah, I think you can call him or WhatsApp him later. Then that's the thing. Okay, I think we have one last question by Dr. Shrija Pillai. How important is the team? We are a husband-wife team, TRL2 stage. We are self-motivated team, no direct advisors, mentors till date. Shantani, you want to take this one?
So a team plays a very important role. I mean, it really doesn't matter whether you're a husband-wife team or not, as long as you form a well-rounded team. So a startup has several domains that needs to be worked on. If both of you can justify those domains, and if the investors or the panelists feel that all the necessary requirements or jobs can be fulfilled by these two people working in the team as a team, then I think that's fine. Even we are a husband-wife team that way, I and Anirban. So it really doesn't matter.
Super. Thank you. That was a very good answer. Thank you very much, Anthony. I think we'll have to stop here since we're running out of time. Okay, so we'll have to stop here and we have shared our contact details in the chat. If anybody wants to get in touch for this call or any BIG related questions, please make sure to get in touch. I'd like to thank all the panelists who have joined. Thank you so much for taking out time and doing this. I think you guys continue to inspire like a whole new generation of entrepreneurs coming and big grantees in the future. Surprisingly, while discussing this 1 hour, I realized that Mother's Day is around the corner, and all our panelists today are working in women's well-being in some way or the other. So hats off to that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to the participants as well for asking wonderful questions and being engaged. Again, if you are applying for the big call, then please get in touch with us. We'd like to help you as much as possible. And we can close on that. Thank you again very much, and have a very good evening. Thank you, Anirban. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.